All right, so we're a couple minutes from the open. Just gonna be chilling, tape reading it. Everything is already set up. The new week opening gap, which was from Friday's close to Sunday's open. Let me just take a look at regular trading, where we closed Friday. RTH. Should have did this. Forgot to do this one. Good morning, and keep in mind, this is not financial advice. These are just my opinions. And the noise in the background, don't worry about that. Boom, so that's the close. We gotta see where we are right now. So price is down here. We're gonna get a little small opening range gap. So this is the close. We got to put this till 10 a.m. So price is cheap. It's open lower than where it closed. And there it is. There's that first candle. We're going to see price just chilling right now. That's 9:30, right? Yep. This gets a little bit lower. 15-second chart, real quick. It's going to show us if it wants to reach into here. Buy side has been swept over here on the left. There's that first fair value gap on this time frame. So we got to see. Just want to mark that out. I've been studying these 15-second candles. Template, busy. Let me go back out to a 1 minute just to take a peek. Just like to see how it behaves here. So 15 seconds. Let me just see that. Nothing on the 1 minute yet. So on the 15-second, yep, look at that. This could, no, that's not it. Let's see what it's gonna do. Still waiting on the 1 minute. Because I personally like these lows over here. I like all of this right here. All of these lows, these stacked lows, they look incredible. Oh, no, my bad. Let's go back. Let's go back into this one. So this could be a breakaway gap right here, which is pretty much what it's showing itself to be. Breakaway gap there. Now, let's see if price stays below this wick right here, the midpoint of that. We got to just keep an eye on that. There we go. So on a 1 minute, probably it's looking to create the first fair value gap there on a 1 minute. So sell stops are just ran right here. Anything else over here? Some lows right here. No first fair value gap on the 1 minute yet. So back to the 15. So if price doesn't come up here, that's a major signature. So it pulled up into this one. And there it is, descending lower. Nothing on the 1 minute yet. This little small thing here, but so that's it. Already failed to come to the midpoint of the opening range gap. So for now, we just got to look at what lows are going to be targeted. Sell side right now. I had mentioned this to one of my friends that look at these relatively equal lows. That looks like a nice target. Some people are probably looking at this right here as a opportunity to get in. I don't see it that way. That's probably going to get destroyed. Let's take a peek at what's happening on a 5. See how it's getting next to those lows. And it's going to move quick. I just wanted to... No significant fair value gap on a 1 minute yet. There's one looking to form there. Just want to see what ES is doing real quick. And ES is... Look at that. Nice lows here. So they're moving together, so that's good. And let's just focus on this right here. Let's just tape read this. So I guess we can say this is the first presented fair value gap. Even though up here it did create a small little imbalance. First FVG 11, what, today is the 4th. Okay, so it's working a old new day opening gap. The nice lows that I had mentioned to you, nice. So now this could be another area where price might want to come down to. Look at that. Those daily lows are just, it's just too close in proximity to just leave it alone. Here we go. These nice stacked lows right here, slanted lows. Yeah, we got a little imbalance up here, so it might swoop them and then come back up here. Or not. That's why we're just tape reading. This is an exercise you want to be doing to get a better feel for what's going on with price. Look at that. On the 4-hour time frame, beautiful. Hey Max, if you're watching this, just know, man, I told you, like, it's a different perspective you want to start having when you're looking at these charts. I'm going to calm down now and just observe, like, I'm going to just watch price right now. That's it. That was enough for me to just chill out now. Look at that. Breakaway gaps. Price didn't even come back to it because it's just too close to the lows. And we're 1 day from the election, so expect this type of volatility where if you don't know what's going on and how to read these candles, like, you're probably going to get hurt. So I'm gonna just put this right here, this sell side here. That's the sell side there. Super close to it. See on the 15-second chart what happened, right? So price came up at the open there, boom, created that little fair value gap there, which was then used in reverse, came down, the candles remained, the bodies remained under it, came down, created this imbalance here, this inefficiency here, which is on technically the correct one on this time frame, which is also Friday's first fair value gap. No bodies above it, just boom, breaks away, breakaway gap there, price comes in here, and then just starts to fall off, chasing on the sell side, and that's all. That's how we read that. That's how we interpret that. So basically this was actually, because it cannot be on the 930 candle. There it is. First FVG right there. Price ran down, came back into it right here. Now it's going to definitely hover around here and probably send it lower from this point there. Who's texting me? All right, boom, boom, boom. Let me just silence this right here. So navigating these lower time frames is something that I'm noticing that is very important, because look, on a 1 minute, you won't see an entry inside of this price leg right here. But if you go down to a 15-second, you will realize right here is already giving you a signature. Price came up, took buy side, tapped into the new week opening gap, failed to get to the midpoint of the opening range gap, which is at a discount, fails. On this time frame, it creates the first FVG of the session on this time frame. (15 seconds) time frame. Boom. And then price comes to it, and then just let me darken that up so we can now, you can actually get a better visual. And then price just reverses right here. Look at the midpoint of this wick right here. No, we're gonna use the bottom one, my bad. That right there. Price is just consequent encroachment is being respected, upper quad, and into this little imbalance here on the 1 minute, and then price just plummets down to target all the lows that were right here. Like, they were pretty obvious. All of this stuff right here. Tags it, and now look, price is moving pretty crazy back into that first fair value gap on the 1 minute time frame. So that's why it's important to drop down to these 15-second time frames and see what's going on. Also, being aware that it's inside of the first fair value gap from last week, because these things still hold for at least a week. And what's price doing right now? Pretty much just came up from this price leg. If we measure to the low, it's at the above the 50 level, so it's in a premium now. If it's going to continue to go lower, it's going to start to turn around. Probably, let me see, it's 942, around the 950 to 1010 macro. So we just got to keep an eye and see, and it's all about seeing, watching, studying this, and doing it over and over until eventually you're able to look at it how I look at it. And when I do decide to execute on these things, I'm actually understanding what's going on. And if I get stopped, I get stopped, because it's going to happen. So, and now look, if we go down to a 15-second time frame, what we want to see now is this stayed open. If this stays open right here where price doesn't come back to it, that can be a breakaway gap and potentially push price back up into here, depending on what happens in the next 3 minutes. Let me check if there's any news today. There's no news today, just tomorrow. Back to a 1 minute. And I'm gonna just chill and let price print cleanly, and then I'll put so again, look at that. As I stated, from that 15-second time frame, price failed to come back down here, so that's a breakaway. And now it's pushing right back into that first fair value gap on a 15-second time frame. The first one was right here on the 1 minute. And technically it is this little small one here because it is an imbalance. Tiny. So we want to highlight that and see how price behaves inside of that little area there. So it's a lot. I know it's a lot. But when you do this over and over, I'm going to just get rid of that one. You start to see these same patterns over and over. Yeah, on a 1 minute, it was a breakaway. Price never even came back to it. Used last week's new day opening gap to push itself higher. Run up to get these to get some buy stops up here. And potentially reach the midpoint of this. And potentially fill it in completely. Because look at what's happening on regular trading hours. People aren't even aware that there was price moving here. Then it comes down and now it's going up to probably hit the midpoint of that from the opening price. This could be used as an inversion, which it was. See that right there? Inversion right there. Price pushed down. This is a Judas swing, comes down, takes some sell stops, and now it runs up. So when on my channel, when you see those silent videos, this is pretty much what's going on. I'm just watching. I like this little area here to just see. So when I'm silent, my point being, this is what I'm doing. I'm just writing my notes, taking pictures. Just look at what happened there. Look at what happened. Cleared out all of these lows. Take a picture of that. All right, so price is leading into that 950 to 1010 macro. So I'm going to just put the 950. And we want to see what price does in between this time frame, which is the top of the hour and the first 10 minutes of the hour. $10.10. This looks like the short that I took last week. Beautiful right there. Comes down, breaks the low with strength. Boom. Parks right back up in there. How much heat would have this position taken? Ooh. Nice. That would have been nice. How much did it go down to? Well, not from there. I'll take a look from here. Nice 88 handles. Knowing me, I would have boom, boom. I would have been like, all right, stops right here. All right, now it's in the macro. So what is it going to do right now? We got some nice relatively equal minor buy side up here near the midpoint. Look at these right here, these nice lows. I said this is a day you don't really want to be dealing with the market. You just want to study it, have it there for history. If we're here again in 2028, then we can pretty much expect these things to repeat and learn from that. Using this, we'll learn and apply that intel for the future. So we're inside the macro right now. We're just going to watch and see. I really want to remove this. This, to me, is actually a distraction. I'm not going to lie. Let me dim this down some more. Oh, 15% is good. I'm going to dim this as well. See how it behaves in the midpoint of this first FEG from last week. It's working inside this little imbalance here, from here to here. See how I stacked these lows right here, these highs I mean. I like that. Relatively equal highs right here, stacked, working the midpoint of this, which would be like right here. Hopefully we get good price action, man, after this these elections, because it's really not. It's not been the best. It's been very, very, very sloppy. So cool, cool, cool. This is all it really is, just sitting back in silence and watching this, especially on a day like today, where I'm just chilling and not worried about putting myself in the market. I'm just chilling, and it's a good exercise because you're not concerned about what's going on. You're just chilling out, pretty much having, having a good time, studying these things. So notice how this right here, the low on this candle right here, you're going to look up top. The low is 20.013 and 2/4. And the low of this is 20.13 flat. So it went down by 50 cents. Listen to what I'm saying. 50 cents and tagged it right there. And that allowed price to just shift up. So let me take a peek at that. That's inside of Thursday's candle, a low inside that. One of the guys just asking if there's an entry. So look, came down into this imbalance now, hovering around, and we'll see what happens at 10 a.m. Here we go. I guess right here. Maybe in this one. I'm just looking for a clean chart. Just send it into the Discord right here. There it is. See the highs that it set itself up for? So price hovered around, came down into the imbalance here, and then the stacked highs that it created leading to the midpoint of the opening range gap just got tagged. So this is what you want to do. You want to just study it and be like, oh, that's what it did. And look back in hindsight. 950, price comes down into the imbalance here. The BISI, which is this color here, didn't even come to the midpoint of it, which is good signs. Comes up, comes down, respects the outside of it, and then pushes up to get the highs that it created, and right near the midpoint of the opening range gap. Still inside that macro. So this is a pattern that you'll start to see a lot. Price comes down and then it goes up to take a high. Or price will go up and then it comes down to take some relatively equal lows when you start studying it inside of this time frame. Right now it's 10 a.m. so the opening range right there has been already got near the midpoint of it. So we take it from the top to the open, and there it is. And on a 5, got some nice highs up here still. Because overall, they're probably going to just target, look at all these highs, smooth. Look at this right here. This area right here. I'm going to just put this up here because this draws my attention. The same way that those lows down there drew my attention, that draws my attention right there a lot. And that could have been the low of the day right there at 9:37. It creates it in that first half hour, which is another thing that I've been studying. 9:37. And this was the session high right here. Tagged it and already hit the midpoint right there.